Americans can be so stupid with their money and finance, and in truth, I've been one of them. In fact, I've made a lot of mistakes financially, and today in this video, I'm gonna share with you 5 things I will never invest in again, but I'm also gonna share with you 2 things as a bonus that I think everyone should invest in, and most don't. Check it out.
Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
So today I'm going to share with you 5 things that you should never invest in and 2 things you absolutely should. And I'm going to tell you right now that I've invested in lots of things. At one point, I was an owner in a refinery of gold. I've had trucking companies. I've invested in land and developments, of course, real estate and lots of other things. And I'm going to tell you, based on all my experience, there are 5 things I will never, ever, 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 ever invest in again. But unfortunately, these are very common things that most people will. Okay, so the first thing you should never invest in, you should never invest in a friend's business. Okay. By the way, I've invested in some great businesses. I've also invested in some horrible businesses. And when you invest in a business, the reality is some work and some don't. And they can't all be winners. If your mind says they all need to win, then frankly, I don't think you understand the reality of life, that that's just not going to happen. Friends often have ideas, but what you should be looking for is track record. You should be looking for a business plan. You should be looking for something really competent. I mean, you'd probably be better off investing in the S&P's 500 top 500 businesses rather than an idea that could be a moonshot or more than likely is just going to be a bad idea. How many businesses survive after 5 years? How many businesses don't make it past the first 1-year mark? It's enough that investing in a friend's business has a high likelihood of being a bad idea. Now, if you are going to do it, here's the rule that I will tell you. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. This is a super common thing that a lot of people do. Number 2, do not invest in a 401k. If you work for a company and they have seduced you with the match, that's their golden handcuffs to keep you from ever going anywhere. You think you're going to get that money, but by the time you're in your 60s, the average person has $172,000 in their 401k. That is a lot of money if it is only one place where you have lots of money. Most people, they'll make that their single source of where they put money, and if all you had at retirement was a 401k with $172,000, you'd be in huge trouble. I'd rather not get the match, take my money, invest it, and get today money put back in my pocket versus tomorrow money. Number 3, mutual funds. If you go to a bank, they're going to tell you to put their money in a mutual fund. Basically, it's an average of a lot of different companies. Did you know that 95% of all mutual funds fail and actually don't break even? It is astonishing. Research this. Mutual funds are a bad idea. You don't want to try to be the person that finds the 1 in 20 that's the winner, because the reality is they just don't work. Then you have people that will get an inheritance, people that will actually get money for retirement from their 401ks, and at some point they put it in an annuity. An annuity is basically another version of the stock market, but they're trying to guarantee your ROI. An annuity usually can give you a 3 to 4% guarantee. You're going to need $1 million to get $30,000 to $40,000 a year. You're going to need $3 million just to hit 6 figures. The reality is annuity pays out so low, so pathetic, you shouldn't invest in it. And number 5, don't invest in gold. I'm not saying it's bad to have gold as a commodity, but gold, it's not paying you anything. In fact, if you look at all of these, do you know what they share in common? They're not investments, they're speculative investments. And what that tells you is that your 401k, is it going to pay you money this month? No, it's not designed to give you a cash flow. Gold is not going to give you a cash flow this month. Your annuity is not. Your mutual funds and your friend's business probably isn't either. So all of these right here, these 5 investments at the end of the day, they don't even cut you a check. They don't pay you. They don't give you anything. And that's the problem. That's part of what makes these part of the 5 worst investments is they're based on put your money away, throw money at it, and then hope in the future that it becomes something good. And in most cases, it's not enough. And if it's not enough, it's broken. And if it's broken, you shouldn't do it in the first place. So there are a couple of things, however, that I believe that you really should consider investing in. So the first thing that I want to share with you right now is I believe that you should invest in real estate. And I'm even talking about just having your own home. In Stanley Thomas's book, The Millionaire Next Door, he studied millionaires. And one of the things that he found is that their greatest net worth that made them a millionaire was the home that they lived in. In fact, when you look at most people when they retire in their 60s and you say, where are their assets? They usually have something in a 401k IRA, and the rest, usually the biggest portion, is equity in their home. Your home is probably the best investment you will ever make, and yet your home doesn't even give you a cash flow. If you could go back in time machine and eliminate any regret, I believe in the latter part of your life, in the fall and winter of your life, you'll say, Sonny, I wish I could time machine back to the beginning and get myself 5 more of those homes. Because I got myself $200,000 of equity in that house, and if I had done that 5 times, I'd be a millionaire. That is likely true. Owning real estate over time, smart, because it does this. You look at it, US Census Bureau, from 1963 to 2019, and you know what we find? It grows an average of 4.58% each year, year over year over year. That means that your home is ultimately going to build something of value, but don't just get one. Why not 5? I bought 25, and then I was able to become financially free at 26 years old. You with me? Last thing that I would suggest that you absolutely invest in that people do not. After college, the one thing people do not invest in is themselves. In fact, college itself is just an investment into career. It's not an investment into you. You should be investing into you because ultimately you possess this 6 inches of real estate that is more valuable than anything else you will ever own. Most people unfortunately won't do that, or maybe they'll read some books, but I would suggest that you read a book a week. I would suggest that at least twice a year you go to a fully immersive event that is designed to make you a better human being. Get in the game of personal development. Get in the game of becoming a wealth expert. Yes, you can and should be. And invest in you. Never feel bad about putting money here. These 2 places, I believe, listen, they've taken me further than anything else. If I were to tell you a 3rd place to put your money, invest in your own business. Usually you can put in a little bit of money, you can put in your time, your talent, and you know what? Business is risky. You might fail and lose, but at least you have a shot at getting somewhere. You behind the wheel of that gives you a lot more benefits than investing in your buddy's business. So listen, today's was all about the 5 things that I'll never invest in. It was also about 3 things that I do with my money that has paid off over and over again. I wish it was common knowledge in society today, but it is not. Today's society is designed to get you to do these things. Because, listen, other than friends, there's a whole financial system around financial experts that make money pushing these things. They make more money than you just on the small transactional fees. It's insane and crazy. So don't get caught up in their trap and start behaving like people instead of sheeple. So it's your life. You got one life to live. You heard it here. If you like the video, do me a favor. Smash that like button and also share it. More importantly, I come out with a video every single day that is designed to help you be the financial genius that is inside of you. It's your potential, and it is time for you to meet it. If you like this, I've got a video that's all queued up for you next that's all about your millionaire real estate investment strategy. If I were you starting out all over again, how would I become a millionaire? And in that video, I'm going to show you exactly how I would. I hope you enjoy it, so click that for sure. And for those of you that are like, Kris, I need to learn more about that real estate, click the link below, get a free copy of my book that will show you very quickly how to make your first million in real estate.